And now audio in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
We're in the Business Bros podcast studio here today with DJ.
Yeah.
Do you got like a real estate name that you're branding, or are you just going with DJ, or are you going with like your full name?
No, I usually go with DJ. So I keep everything the same, Real Estate by DJ. So it's Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, just everything.
Real Estate by DJ, that'll work.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are you like technically like, I know because it's the name, but did you ever like actually DJ like disc jockey?
No.
No?
Just a Doug Jr. So
yeah.
it just stuck.
Yeah, it just stuck. Yeah, it's all right. It's like me, right? Adnan's the actual name, but nobody calls me that. Everybody calls me Non, so
No.
it just sticks.
Yeah, it does.
Right? So that's what my friends call me. Or the business bro now.
The business bro.
Hey, business bro!
That's a really cool thing that you joined us on that. It is our little call tag. We had, I think we've only had like
maybe a few like
people that
very
don't
few
join
people,
us.
yeah, because I think it's nerves. You know,
Yeah.
like they get a little nervous.
But that's
when
how you
the
get it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's our
Yeah,
thing,
that's how
right?
you
That's
get
how you get it out.
That's how you get
It was a
in there,
weird
yeah.
start to do, but it works, right?
It does. It does. I like it.
All right, so, well, thanks for being on the show, first of all, right?
Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.
And let's jump into it, right? Let's
For
get
sure.
to know you. So,
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, the question we always ask: why did you get into real estate?
Oh man, that's a question that I always get. Actually, my wife turned me on to real estate. I told her that I always wanted to wear a suit.
All right, that's it. The wife did it. Good show. Let's get her on the show.
right. So yeah, I mean, I always wanted to wear a suit. So you know, I joined the Marine Corps 6 years, and then
That's one hell of a suit.
Thank
by
you
the
for
way.
your service.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thanks for your support. Yeah, so you know, first fell in love with that suit, and then you know, got introduced to real estate. My wife's like, dude, you're a people person. You love to help people. You know, you put your life on the line for the country. Why not help people in real estate?
Continue to do it, right?
Continue to help. Yeah. So you know, I was searching for something to do, and when I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, real estate was right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the Marine Corps took you all over the place. I mean, we got a chance to kind of hang out and talk a little bit before. And
Yeah.
usually I don't get to do that with people. Usually I get to figure them out like directly on the mic. So
Right.
we get to recap a little bit. So you got to
wait,
travel.
Wait, are you calling me out for being late? Is
Yeah,
that what that
yeah.
is?
So basically what happened is the insurance bro over here hit me up. He's like, I got to go home and check on my dog. So I'll be there in a little bit. So there you go. He was a little late, so we got to, you know,
That's
shoot the
cool.
shit a little bit,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I like
ourselves.
it.
So
Yeah.
So anyways,
Especially
but-
if you're a Dodger fan.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, don't throw it out there. You might lose. You know, some people get offended with that because you live in San Diego. So I'm just playing. No. So you got, you know, the Marine Corps took you a little bit of places, right?
Yeah, definitely. So joined in 2009. Went to boot camp in Parris Island, South Carolina. Went to from there went to Miramar, where I met my wife. Then from there we went to recruiting station San Francisco, and then had orders to Japan. And
You were like,
peace out.
no,
San
not
Diego,
even
here
the
I come.
country. I'm staying right here. No, but it's good. Like you get a little bit of perspective about what's going on in different economies, right? Granted that you're going to get a BAH type, you know,
Right.
housing allowance that'll help you, you know, pay for whatever it is. And depending on where you're at, the subsidy's a little bit different, right? But you still got to go out and look for a place, right? So you still
do.
got to go out and shop and figure out. And it kind of helps you really understand what's going on in the rental market from, you know, you said South Carolina, right?
Yes.
So from South Carolina to Miramar to San Francisco, I mean, those are completely different markets.
Correct.
So what'd you think about those places?
Oh man, I mean, well, not too much on like what we call out in town in South Carolina because I was in boot camp there. But coming to San Diego, you know, you were able to live on base. So I was on base for about a year or two. But you're right. Once you get married, it's like, all right, guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Later.
there's base housing or there's out in town, and then it's like, dude. So now you got to find a rental, right? And everyone's like rent. And then it's like, you know, I had that epiphany when I got into real estate. It's like, if I only knew what I knew back then, dude, like,
What was I blowing my money on?
exactly, you know, seriously, like we could have owned properties, sold them, like it's insane what you can do.
But think about it. I mean, granted, I know a military guy, right?
Right.
And
Navy.
Yeah, Navy
nice.
guy, right? And so, but when you're in the military,
couple of veterans, you know.
Yeah, when you're in the military, though, it's kind of a weird thing about amongst your peers, right? They're all young,
Yeah.
right? Now they have stability in their lives. They got some financial, you know, a little bit of cash in their pocket.
Right.
but all too often they end up making bad decisions, right? And the bad decisions aren't necessarily the fact that they want to have fun. Fun's okay, right?
Right.
Fun's fine, but it's the mismanagement of the funds that you have that prevents you from accelerating.
Yes.
They stay put, right? They become dependent on that paycheck, and that kind of stops them. Because you're right, with the housing allowance, that's your mortgage.
No, dude, it's insane. So you only know what you know,
right?
So you can't fault people for not knowing.
No.
And that's one thing that I so wish I can tap into is everyone who's in that position to like say stop renting, right? So I always use this story to everyone I know. My first lead came through Instagram. Navy guy, right?
Nice.
Young dude, just like me. Him and his wife, barely pregnant, came out and said, we want to buy a house. See you on Instagram. Let's do it. So I helped them buy a house. Used all their VA, no money down, closing costs from the seller, from the agent. I gave some commission. Just bought a house, no money out of pocket. Now we flash forward 2 years later, and shameless plug, but I'm listing that house currently.
Nice.
He's walking away with $70,000 tax free.
And he had a place to stay.
That the government
was paying for.
What else can you
I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's a short-term investment with a big payout.
Yeah. And then once we sell, you can use your VA loan again. So turn around and go do it wherever you
lived in the home for at least 2 of the last 5 years,
yes.
so you qualify for the exemption.
Yes.
So the whole amount of money that he's making on the sale of the property,
Tax-free.
assuming it's not more than he's single, right?
No, he's married.
He's married, so he gets a $500,000 exemption.
Yeah. And he's only taking 70, so.
Oh, yeah. Chump change, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he can use his VA again, go into another property with no money down.
Yep.
And now we're in a buyer's market, so he has a little more leverage than he did before.
Exactly.
So he can request more things, request for repairs, request for credits, anything like that.
Anything.
You hear that, dude? So I'm just saying, dude, there's a bunch of strategies out there. Buyers still need to buy, especially in a market like this.
Yeah.
We talked to Sean yesterday. His podcast posted today, The Mortgage Doctor, right?
Right.
And we were talking about rents and comparing, like, if you pay rent, oftentimes it's more right now than what you can pay in a mortgage.
So
right?
true.
So why would you want to rent, especially when you're a military person? And we live in San Diego, huge military town.
Yeah, and that's why I think, this is just personal opinion, right? But San Diego is kind of exempt from a lot of the normal economy, right? Because military is coming. In order for San Diego to just go downhill, all the military has to leave.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Now that, dude, when we lived in San Francisco, there was signs saying, move to San Diego for the tech.
Yeah.
So, we almost got Amazon. So imagine what that would have done. But, if military has to leave, right? But if the military stays here, you kind of always have a market.
You know yeah. You're talking about infrastructure, right? It's a big deal. Like you have to have some core jobs to sustain an economy, right? If the military left, San Diego would be not as popular as it is now, right? But you're right. Every good populated city, every booming economy, Vegas, for example, has the ups and downs, but they have the casino markets, right? Yep. You're looking at Reno, you have the big Tesla markets, you have a bunch of different things like that. And no matter where you go, you have core businesses that are spurring people, giving people the opportunity to live, to earn and live and pay for the economy. So you're absolutely right. Military is our bread and butter. It's our bloodline. Yeah. And we should be tapping into it a lot more.
Oh, agreed. That's my niche. That's my bread and butter. We can relate on multiple levels. I would have to say like 90% of my clients, all military, especially what we're doing with the military loan and helping them and all the credits and everything that we're doing. It's just like, I can literally look a military guy in the eye and say, you will buy a house with no money out of pocket. Just pay for the home inspection and everything else is paid for.
Yeah. You don't believe me? Let me tell you my list of clients that I've already helped do the same thing.
Yeah, 25 to be exact.
Yeah, see?
Year. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Did you say 25 last year?
Yeah, 25.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time, I'm assuming, with buyers because you're working that angle?
Yes, because, being so young in the business, take business anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? But what I saw is, side cover from the border to Marietta. I went to Moreno Valley, but I don't think I'll do that. He was LAPD, so I was like, I'll do it for you, right?
Yeah. You're gonna hook me up when I get a speeding ticket, so you're gonna help me out here,
right. So
I'm gonna lean on you at one time or another.
At least once, right? You have to. But so it's just, man, I get so excited talking about it because what what you can do with the military loan.
Yeah.
And all.
It's just
amazing.
made such a huge difference, and you've made such a huge difference in like their lives, right? And in return, being able to provide a quality service has made it so that you have turned around in your life, right?
Yes.
Those transactions, I mean, they've changed the way you bought your own place.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I saw the work you did in the backyard. If you guys don't know, you dropped the
thank
vlog recently, right?
I did. Vlog number 1.
Vlog number
Yes,
1. So
yes.
if you check it out, I mean, you get to see what you've been doing.
Can we get the where do we find that?
YouTube. All you have to do is Google Douglas Gutierrez Realtor and our YouTube that, and you'll see my whole channel up there. I don't have enough subscribers to get a URL.
Yeah.
But shout out to all my 47 because we're gonna get there.
Dude, but see, okay, here's the thing. It's not always about the number of subscribers. It's the quality of the relationship that you have with them.
Yeah.
So there are people who are willing to share, willing to repost, willing to comment on your content, and that's what it's about. I think we focus too much attention on number of likes, number of views, and instead of using it to enhance the relationships that you have.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I'm a big fan of giving back to, my slogan is I serve my country, now I serve my community, right? And my community.
That's a good one. Say it again. I like that one.
I serve my country, and now I serve my community.
All right.
So, and that's what I'm there for. So, I mean, I always, when I'm on, live, I'm connecting with people. That's how I started, being so young, being a buyer's agent. As many people as I help buy, I call it the life rule. In 2 to 5 years, you get married, you have kids, you get promoted.
Things change, right?
Yeah. So
we may have bought a condo right now.
Yeah, but you're going to be buying a house pretty soon.
Exactly.
And if I establish that relationship, being a millennial, all it was is Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, don't take my business card. Take my Instagram handle and check me out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's stay connected and,
Love that.
barbecues and everything. Let's be a family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just the means of way people are communicating today, right?
Yeah.
So I told you earlier I'm a fan of Gary Vee, right? And he was talking about how reality, the real world is now becoming the fake world. And what we used to think was the fake world and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the Twitter sphere, whatever, that's now becoming the reality. Right. And it's funny how that dynamic changes, how the perception is changing. If you talk to somebody my age and older, we don't see it that way still. We're like, no, dude, you actually pick up the phone, you talk to somebody, you have a communication, which is true. You still do all those things, but younger generations are that is how they communicate. Yeah. Social is their way of communication. Yeah. It's and to ignore that is a detriment to yourself. That's why your first lead came from Instagram, and but let me ask you this, like going forward, how's it trending? Is most of your stuff coming from social media, or most of your stuff is actually coming from the relationships you built?
Now it's coming from the relationships I built.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, 25 came from the trust and the confidence that everyone had in me. Mm-hmm. So it was just starting on the grind, building the credibility. Because I mean, if you don't have credibility, you got nothing. You got nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
how am I going to trust you with the biggest transaction of my life? If I've never heard of you, if nobody's ever heard of you.
Yeah. So reviews are key. I love getting reviews, connecting with them. But then after you connect, it's hey, check out my real estate agent. Oh, by the way, here's his Instagram. Give him a follow. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, when you're posting stories, when you're posting, everyone knows who you are. And it's like, when I go to meet him, it's never like, hey, nice to meet you. It's like, oh, hey, nice to see you again. Or, oh, yeah, I see exactly what you're doing. Like, oh, dude, how was that restaurant? I went last night. So it's just like
it's a great conversation starter, right? Oh, yeah. It allows you to. It's like right now. Like I know that you just did your whole patio area. You have that nice little fireplace area with a nice sit down spot. Yeah. It looks good. I know you had to IKEA the crap out of something, right? Yes. So I know things about you that I can ask you,
right?
Because I follow you on social media, because I see what's going on in your life. And it's the same thing with anybody else that you're building a relationship on. Mm-hmm. If you see what's going on in their life, you take the time to comment on what's going on and actually engage with people on a personal level.
Yes.
That's a good way of communicating. You're building and enhancing a relationship that exists.
And that's key,
right?
Engage. Everyone that just follow, share my stuff.
Right.
Engage. Comment. And Facebook tells you when everyone's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
It's that simple.
But
that's only one time, right? And that's when you get flooded.
Yeah.
I think if you're only doing the happy birthday, you're just being washed away with everybody else's commenting happy birthday.
Right?
It is something. It's a start.
It's a start. I can agree. But for someone who's not, into the social, Just start there, and then start likes and comments, and innovate or die.
Exactly. And it's funny because people ask me, well, what do I say? I don't know what to say. How about you just say, hey, that looks cool, or nice,
or fire.
You don't even have to say anything. Just put little pictures, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I try to explain to people. I go, when you get a notification on your phone that somebody cared to like or comment, the comment's the big one, you have little chemical reactions in the back of your head that are like, yes, somebody cared, right?
Yep.
That's you being able to provide that little chemical reaction to somebody else, and they'll remember that, even if it was just a little fire thing. But when you comment again, and then when you do see them in person, they love you for it.
Yep.
Right? You've built that relationship, but it takes that work. It takes that little bit of effort. And trust me, going on social media and getting on your phone all the time is not the funnest thing in the world, and it's time consuming. But you're working, right? If you're not picking up the phone and talking to people, if you're not knocking on doors, and if you're not building your relationships, you're not in real estate. You're not if you don't put yourself in a position to hear no, right? Because that's really what it is. It's sales. You're not working.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I mean, you got to find leads somewhere, right? And
absolutely.
I'm not door knocking.
I drew the line somewhere, and door knocking's where I draw the line.
No, not when Facebook and social media and hashtags are out there. You can connect to someone that you didn't even know through there. And they put married, military, whatever it is, looking for a house or you know what I mean? It's out there. So you can literally find everyone without leaving your bedroom. Like you can be in the bed all day and find at least 2 clients.
I would argue with you that door knocking can be an essential and an added bonus to your stuff. Yeah. But you did 25 transactions last year?
Yes.
So you know what? You're doing something right, and it's meeting what you're looking for, right?
It is.
And so, whenever you do want to scale a little more, then you know where the opportunities are. The good thing is that you're deciding which opportunities you want to focus your attention on, right? And you're working that angle, right? Because we always talk about, as a salesperson, you need to have multiple ways of generating leads, right? Multiple spokes on a wheel,
right?
And what happens a lot of times is people dabble in spokes, right? They try this for like 5 minutes, and then they try this for like 5 minutes, and they try this for and then they get mad because none of it worked.
Yeah.
Focus your attention on one. Become really good at that one, and if you can do that really well, then if you want to increase your business, focus on a new one, because that one becomes systematized.
Yeah, start heading.
Right? And that's what I think you're doing a really good job, at least that. I mean, it shows in your numbers. You're doing something right. What is it that you're doing that's working?
Well, it's just, I mean, like I said, I like to look at everything as a table, right? Mm-hmm. So I found a good mentor, right? Learned from the mentor, because you always need one. Then from the mentor, I got into Tom Ferry coaching, did that for a year. And then, so taking everything, it starts with your foundation, your table, right? So you can't have a 3-legged table. No. But if you have a 4-legged, or a 6-legged, now you're exactly how you said. You're focused on one, building your foundation, and then adding to it. Right. So pretty soon, when you have an 8-legged table, you can take one out, and it's still balanced. You know what I mean?
It's not going to fall over.
It's not going to fall over, and that's whether it's social media is one. If you like door knocking, that's another one. Calling, cold calling, running ads on social media, whatever it is, it's like you said, establish that base and just dominate it and just go for it and go for it and go for it until you can't cut down any more legs.
So last year you did 25. Was it always that way, or did you kind of struggle at first when you got started?
No, I mean, well, for my first year in real estate, it took me 6 months to get one transaction. But then after that, from there, I was able to pick up 11 more. So first year was 12. Second year was 18. And then third year was 25.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I try to ask that. I try to ask that quite often, because we have a lot of agents that they do it for a couple months, they don't get the deal, and they're done. Right. It didn't work for me. And part of it has to do with, they know that they need to work it, and they know that it's going to come in time. And the other part of it is they don't have the means to wait out that time. Right. And that's kind of a tough thing for some people to wait that long for it to progress. But, everybody we've talked to has that struggle at the beginning. It took me 6 months. It took me 7 months. I tried it for almost a year, and it didn't work out. Yeah. And then I came back, right? Whatever the story is, they all started with that first struggle. So if you were giving advice to a rookie agent, right? Somebody who just got their license, what would you tell them? What kind of advice would you give them?
Find what you're good at and do that until you can't do it anymore, and everything else will come. It just dominate on one thing and stick to that one thing until you can't do it anymore, until you're pulled in so many different directions that you're like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And now you have, your base and your establishment, and people are following you, your credibility is going. So just find that one thing you're good at. If you can sit on the phone for hours at a time, then just call leads. I mean, you can get 100 contacts from your title rep, meet people, just do one thing you're good at, and that's a wrap.
And rock it.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
how did you get into the whole social media thing? Now, granted, the wifey helps you out with camera holding. She's right here, with us on the podcast. Let me see. I'll get a glimpse of her real quick. What up?
Yeah.
Right. And so, she's there to support you as far as, helping you create the content, but it takes a certain type of confidence to like hop in front of a camera or drop behind a mic. And, what do you think, was it something that you thought right away, like, yeah, I could do that, boom, and just hopped on it? Or you kind of built into it? Like, maybe my first video where you like, it didn't come out right, delete, did
Don't
again,
look
delete.
at it. My first video, I just cleaned up the YouTube and I deleted it because it was just like, whoa.
You're like, this is not good.
Yeah, but it posted, right? Mm-hmm. So I get asked this all the time in the office, that exact same question, and it's just, you just gotta believe in yourself. Granted, growing up through the Marine Corps, that confidence you build. I mean, I was 20 years old, in charge of 30, 40 people, and I mean, like, 25-year-old, you can relate as military, right?
Yep.
How do you buy a car? I don't know, I haven't bought one. Or how do I save money? Or how do I do this? And you got to figure it out, right? So I mean, the confidence you gain, through the military, but honestly, it's just like, just do it. Just Nike,
Nike.
Just do it.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Like I follow this, like you said, Gary Vee. Everyone has their person they look up to. I follow Danny Morell on social media, and he's all about mindset, right? And the mindset is, it's just, if you don't do it, someone else will. Who cares what you look like? Who cares if you brush your teeth? I mean, if I waited till I get a haircut to post a video, we'd be waiting every 2 weeks, right? So it's just like, just do it, man. Like, who cares? Everyone's gonna have an opinion, but as long as you're confident, and as long as you can, put your word out there, and everyone can relate to some person on some type of level, right?
Right.
Let's just say, even though if I didn't even know you, I saw you had a Dodger hat, I know what we can talk to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Someone said he was military. Oh, I can relate. Military. Everyone has something you can relate to. So as long as you can hit that little piece, that's it.
That's true. That's true. That's what I did like about your vlog, because it's going over. It's not just me talking to a client. It's not just me showing a house. It's also you building a table, or building a chair,
husband
or
duties.
Right, husband duties. But these are things that other people go through, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna make your content a little more relatable. Like, we do the podcast,
Right.
and I'll post some stuff. I haven't done it lately because I've been trying to learn a new computer thing, but posting stuff that doesn't always have to do with real estate.
Yeah.
It makes you relatable. It's you're not a machine, you're not a commercial, you're a human being, right? Yeah. And we're gonna connect on these things. If somebody has kids and they see me doing stuff with the kids, they're gonna ask about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, check it out, we came to watch Bumblebee or whatever, or whatever.
Exactly.
You're gonna get comments like, hey, was it a good movie?
Right.
That's an interaction. Does it mean, hey, yeah, it was a good movie, by the way, do you want to buy a house? Like, it's not how it works.
No, yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
There's some sort of communication that has to happen.
Be you.
Be you.
Yeah, like you have to tailor some things, right? Because you're in a professional environment. But at the same time, like, not everyone's, like you said, a robot. Not everyone's, the Terminator. Everyone has a personality. Be you, and just live.
Yeah. And post, right? And actually post, because you I like how you said that if you have to wait to get a haircut, you're not going to post. You're going to wait every 2 weeks. And that's because people are trying to be perfectionists. They want the best video with the best editing, with the best light on the brightest day, right? And it's never going to be that way.
Never.
You're never going to have perfection. And if you're trying to aim for perfection, nothing's ever going to get done, right? Just it. Just record, click, send. And if you're worried about it, start off in the stories. I love the stories because they'll disappear.
Yeah,
right?
24 hours and they're
24
gone.
hours and they're gone. So if you're really, really that worried about it, start off with the story, and you'll build your confidence. We always go back to listen to our very first podcast. If you don't believe us, the podcast today is way different than the podcast episode 1.
Of course.
Right? You listen to episode 1, you're like, these are not the same dudes.
Yeah. No, it's like that first phone call with a client or the first showing. You know, it's so different than then now you do it now and you're like, oh, okay. That's
it's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Oh, I got a problem. Oh, that's it? All right. That's you know, that's it.
Yeah,
you know?
people are afraid to take an L, right?
Yeah,
to
exactly.
take a loss. But I love that saying, and I can't remember exactly word for word, but for every L you take off of learning, you start earning. Right?
I like
so
that.
for every L you take, just understand that that's a learning.
Yeah.
You're learning something. You're advancing. You're perfecting your craft because you're out there doing. You're taking action, and you're gonna earn by taking action. Right? Earn while you learn.
Yeah.
Right. That just go out there and do, and that involves making yourself top of mind.
It does.
I mean, I don't know about you, but the first time I looked through a real estate contract, I was like, "What?"
Oh, yeah.
Or trying to explain it. Wait, let me read that section again. It's cool because they have bolded stuff on it, so you can kind of read the bolded stuff, and it'll remind you what's going on.
Yes.
You don't have to know it word for word. You'll get better and you'll progress over time.
And then have a general understanding of the whole contract.
Yes. But you don't have to know it right off the bat. And you can always say, you know what, that's a great question. I can get back to you on that. Let me get you a good answer.
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with saying, I don't know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, no one knows everything.
Yeah.
If that's the case, we'd all be out here just
Google.
crushing.
I was going to say, that's the only one who knows everything.
True. Google. Yeah. You got to love Google, though, right?
You got to love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me Google that.
Yeah.
And everybody's okay with that. You can Google the answer.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's literally cheating.
It is. And then I don't know if you guys seen the video of some kid. His mom told him to do his homework, and he has the Google Home. And he's like, "Hey Google, what's 3 plus 3?" And he's like, 6. He's like, "All right,
Cool.
What's 3 plus 7?" Yeah, all right.
Nice. See, that's resourceful.
Yeah. No, you have to get a Google Home.
Oh yeah, I do. I got a Google Mini.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Don't
thing's
you
awesome.
love it?
I do love it.
Yeah.
I love it, except that my kids tend to walk in and they're like, "Hey Google, play whatever," and I'm like, "I don't want to hear that song."
Dude, that's so true. When we got our first one, I was like, I'm buying everyone one. Every time I close a deal, get him a Google Home.
Best
Nice.
place to put it,
Yeah.
by the way, in the bathroom. Right, and I learned this from Gary Vee. He's like, you put it in the bathroom, and while you're showering, you can like, "Hey Google, what's on my calendar today?"
Yeah.
"Hey Google, set me a reminder," because you're showering,
Yes.
or you're taking a dump or whatever,
Yeah.
and you're thinking about what's going on in your day.
Oh, so
right?
true. Yeah.
And it's kind of lost time.
Yeah.
So imagine how much extra time you can make if you're just like, "Hey Google, remind me to call my mom, tomorrow or whatever," and dude, done.
And it pops up on your phone. It says, "Hey, here's a reminder." And then, if it's like in your contacts, you just press call.
And you're set to go, right?
"Hey, Google, remind me to leave in 10 minutes." And, hey, time to go.
Exactly. So if you're going to get a Google Mini or an Alexa or whatever,
Yeah.
I suggest the bathroom.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be in the bathroom, but once it made sense, that's where mine's at. It's in the bathroom.
No, that's so true.
For the record, this episode was not sponsored by Google.
That is awesome.
It'd be nice though.
It would
it'd be nice,
right?
yeah. Why not, Google?
Yeah, hey,
Blow
Google,
it up.
Google, if you're listening, sponsor these guys. Business bros.
Google's
Sponsors.
always listening.
That's true.
Dude, am I not the only one? Like, if you're thinking something and then you're scrolling
And it shows up?
Oh yeah,
like,
That's trippy, huh?
it's so trippy.
scary.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. They're
It's
watching
insane.
right now.
Yeah, everything.
Moment of silence
They've
for like
they-
our souls.
Yeah, they've implanted chips in our heads already. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's called a flu vaccine. Just saying.
Ah.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
That's the other show.
That's the 11 p.m.
Yeah, that's the 11 p.m. show. Tune in.
Tune in.
That's good.
Nah, dude. How we doing on time?
29.
Yeah. I always, now that we've been doing it for a while, I always get that feeling like I know.
You know
maybe he's
where
gonna
we're
get
at.
a kick to the shit. And so,
Yeah.
all right, since we're rounding the bed on time, I want to give you the floor. Go ahead and plug whatever you want. Any social media. I mean, we did a lot of plugging, but it's kind of cool because at the end, people kind of scroll, right? And they get that information. And then tag whoever you think should be on the Business Bros.
Oh, I missed it. Let's try that one more time.
Tag whoever should be on the Business Bros.
I like it. Yeah, no, definitely. Check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/real estate by DJ. Literally everything's real estate by DJ. Google, my email, my Instagram, no Twitter yet. But Facebook, Real Estate by DJ. So just check me out on there. YouTube, Vlog 2 is coming out, so be prepared for that one.
Nice.
And and then I definitely want to tag my boy Eddie Briseño. So we'll go ahead and put his link right here so you guys can tag him and definitely get him on the show.
Cool.
Get a kick out of that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. And thanks again for coming out. I mean, really appreciated getting to know you. Now we have a personal connection.
Yeah.
Now you're a friend of the Business Bros.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Cool. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. Make sure if you ever need anything, you reach out to me, Hernan@csfirst.com, or James if you have any insurance questions, needs, or got clients that need some help. James@csfirst.com, or follow us on social @Business Bros Pod. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And I'm out. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that was
done
fun.
and done.
That was awesome.
Nice. You're so good.